Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. It means so much. For today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a buttermilk custard apple pie. Now you can go ahead and roll out your dough at this point in time if you made your dough, or if you bought store-bought dough, that'll be a lot easier, obviously. But I will link the video that I made down below for you, showing you how to make a homemade pie crust yourself. That's what I'm using for this recipe. That's why I'm rolling it out as you see me doing here. And my pie crust recipe makes enough for 2 pies. Or if you want to use it as a topper for your pie, you know, it just is enough for 1 pie in that case. And that's what we're going to be doing in this video. So while my pie crust is baking, I'm going to roll out the second pie dough. And to prevent it from burning, you can just brush some egg whites on your crust and it'll be good to go. That's what I did. Now the reason why I like to bake my pie crust before I put my filling in is because sometimes if you put your filling into a raw pie crust and bake it all together, the bottom of the pie doesn't get cooked all the way through. And to prevent it from burning, you can just brush some egg whites on your crust and it'll be good to go. That's what I did. And so while my pie crust is baking, I'm going to roll out what will be the top crust of my pie. You can even make a little design as well. That's what I'm going to do. Now that the top of my pie crust is ready to go, it's about time to pull my pie crust out of the oven, and this is how it turned out. So now that my pie crust has been baked, I'm going to go ahead and start making the filling. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get a pretty large size skillet, and you're going to want to melt 1 tablespoon of coconut oil in that skillet and allow it to melt all the way. And then you want to get 5 cups of Granny Smith apples, and that equals about 2 pounds of apples. And you want to core your apples and peel them and then cut them into whatever size pieces you want. I like my apple slices to be a bit thicker, but some people like them really thin, so whatever works best for you. But if you do cut them thinner, you don't need to bake them as long. And then I go ahead and I add 1 cup of sugar and a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And then I just cook that on a medium heat setting for 10 minutes, and you can stir it occasionally as well. And after 10 minutes, you can go ahead and turn the heat off and leave the apples in the pan, and you can go make your custard now for your apple pie. So basically all you're going to want to do is get 3 large eggs, and I just use a handheld mixer and I whisk the eggs really well. And then once those are whisked, I like to go ahead and take 3/4 cups of sugar. And you don't have to do 3/4 cups. You can do less or more, whatever you prefer, but I do 3/4 cup. And then I take a fine mesh strainer and I put that over my bowl. And then I take 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour and I put that in my fine mesh strainer, and then I strain that through into my bowl for my custard. And this just makes your custard nice and thick. And then I take a 1/4 teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt and I add that to my custard mixture. And then I whisk that on a low speed setting until everything is combined. And then once everything is combined, I take 1 3/4 cup of buttermilk along with 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then I whisk it together really well until everything is combined. And then once I'm done making the custard mixture, I go ahead and I take my baked pie crust and I do poke a few holes into my pie crust after it's baked, and then I just kind of pat it out a little bit. And now you are ready to add your apples to your pie crust first. And then once all of your apples are in your pie crust, you can go ahead and spoon your custard over your apple pie. Now you will have some custard left over, and you will also have some pie crust left over. And so what I like to do is I like to roll out mini pie crusts and put those into my muffin pans and bake those. And then once those are baked, I like to add in the leftover custard and make little mini custard cups, and I just bake that with the apple pie. And you want to go ahead and put your apple pie in your oven on 325 and allow that to bake for 30 minutes. And then you want to go ahead while that's baking and you want to make your streusel. For this streusel, you're going to want to take your fine mesh strainer again and put 1/3 cup of flour into a glass bowl, and then you want to take 1/3 cups of packed brown sugar and add that to your flour mixture. And then you're going to want to take a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and you're going to want to add that to your mixture. And then you want to take 2.5 tablespoons of chilled butter cut into small pieces, and you want to add that to your bowl. Now you can use a fork as you see me doing here, but my arms got tired after a while, so I went ahead and I just put this in my food processor until it created nice little crumbled pieces, and that's how you make a strudel. So after your pie has baked for 30 minutes, you want to take it out of the oven and you want to reduce the oven temperature to 300 degrees. And then you want to sprinkle your streusel over your pie. And at this point in time, I like to place my pie topper that I made earlier on top of my pie. And then I just like to cut the edges off with my kitchen scissors and just pinch the sides of the top of the pie crust. And then I like to brush egg whites all along the top of the pie, and this just keeps it from burning. And then you're going to want to bake your pie for 40 minutes. And after 40 minutes, you want to let it sit for an hour before you cut your pie. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you make this pie, please let me know how it tastes in the comment section below. And I would also love it if you followed me on Instagram. I will leave the link for my Instagram account down below. And if you make this pie, then I would love for you to post a story on your Instagram page and tag me in it. And please don't forget to subscribe and join my growing YouTube family. I'm going to be uploading tons of Christmas content this holiday season. I'm actually going to be decorating my Christmas tree today and making a video for you guys, so stay tuned for that. And until next time, I love you guys so much. Bye!